Hi, welcome back to Wisdom Breaks, and I'm your host, Dr. Addie. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we're just going to continue with part two of the parenting questions. And boy, I'm excited, so stay tuned. Here we go. Our first question comes from Columbia, South Carolina, and our first question reads as this: what is a good way to teach your small children about the love of Jesus? That's a very good question, first of all, because I find that sometimes we think we have to um, take them to church and do all of these things, and that's good, you know. But the best way to teach them about the love of Jesus is to be the love of Jesus, you know, and how you talk to your child, how you discipline your child, how you teach your child to interact with other children when they do them wrong, how to walk in forgiveness, you know. So all of these things are moments I call wisdom break moments that you can take to impart to your child the love of Jesus. Because at the end of the day, all we are to be is love. That's what's lacking in the world. That's what's lacking. So if you are that prime example that they're living with, they wake up in the morning with you, go to bed at night with you, now don't you think it's only befitting that you're the one that's demonstrating his love? So I would say be love to your children. And if you don't know how to be love to them, they're not going to know how to be love, because they're going to do what they see you do, not what you say. So you can't tell them or want to teach them about the love of Jesus, and then here you is acting like something you shouldn't. So again, take advantage of those moments and impart to them what's been imparted to you. Thank you for sending in that question. This next question comes all the way from Union, Georgia. And this question reads: recently I've become a mother of 5, and I worry about giving each of my children enough love. I don't want any of them to feel neglected. How do I make all of them feel loved? Wow, a mother of 5. First, congrats to you, because I'm sure that is a very challenging position to be the mother of 5 kids, and then to want to give them love and not letting none of them fall through the cracks, so to say, so that they all can feel the love that you have for them. My first thing to you is to prioritize your time and make sure that you make time for each one of them specifically in their own time. Now, when I say that, what am I saying? Sometimes with 5 kids, you don't have a whole lot of time. So you can do this by letting one help you with dinner or whatever it is that you're doing around the house, you know, then letting the other one do that and letting them learn how to share and take time, so they'll know that the love that you have for them is there and that they getting enough of that love. Now, one thing I did see was a young lady that had some children and a little baby, and her youngest child wasn't having that. You know, he was used to being the baby, so he didn't know how to deal with the new baby. So whenever she would sit there to try to nurse or try to feed the new baby, the other little child would jump up and, you know, begin to hit or move or what have you, and doing things that was vying for her attention. And I happened to be there, and I told her, I said, listen, I said, this child really wants some attention because he just needs to know that he's loved too. I said, so you're going to have to do something special with him so that he can feel this love and know that he's not being kicked to the curb, so to say, you know, even though the smaller ones require more attention. And so she took my advice and she began to do special things with him when the baby was laying down to go to sleep. And she just began to pour love into him at those moments and talk to him about the newborn baby, to where when the babies began to wake up or she was dealing with the child, then he began to come in the room and he was saying the things he heard her say to the baby. It's like, oh, look at you, baby, baby. And it was so cute, to see him interacting with his little new brother, sister, or what have you. And he just began to just do it, and now he's okay with that because he's getting love and he's feeling love. So I would suggest that you take each of those kids, because there's 5 of them and you probably don't have a lot of time, but just do something special with each one of them so that they know that they're special and know that they're loved. And then again, I just want to say hats off to you, bless you, because I'm sure that's a lot of work, and thank you so much for writing in. Okay, now this question comes from Columbia, South Carolina, and it goes, how do you teach your children to forgive? That is a very good question, because the society we live in is such a selfish society. And so I see so many young children just so selfish. They selfish, they're mad, they don't want to share their toys, they want to be mad at somebody forever. And so the best way to teach your children how to forgive is that you make sure you be an example of that. When they do something or something occurs in their life, whether it's with one of their friends or one of their siblings, then you be that person, that go-to person, to have those wisdom break moments and to teach them, hey, no, we don't do that. You forgive your brother, you forgive your sister, or whoever it may be at the time, and then explain to them about their emotions. A lot of times we want our children to just do things and we don't explain things to them. Communicate with your kids. They're such smart people. If you pour into them, you'd be surprised the things that they know. So communicate to them, explain to them. And it is okay to be angry. Even the Bible says be angry, but sin not. So it's okay to get angry, when people do things to you or when people hurt you. But another element to that is to forgive them. And that's the part sometimes that we leave out. So we want to teach them how to forgive. And also, this is important now. Teach them that forgiveness is a process. They may not feel like they forgave because it's not based on a feeling. It's about a decision that you make in your mind. I'm going to decide to forgive you. It has nothing to do with how I feel. And then once you begin to line that up and begin to walk it out, guess what? Your heart starts following it. Your heart will begin to follow it, because you have to constantly remind yourself that I have made a conscious decision to forgive for whatever they've done to me or whatever they made me feel, and then when you begin to do it, and then letting them know that when you don't forgive, the consequences of that. There are consequences when you're walking in unforgiveness, how it stunts your growth physically, emotionally and spiritually, So you have to be quick to forgive. I know me. I'm the kind of person that, when someone do something to me, I have to, vent it out and forgive quickly because of what I walk in. It doesn't mean I don't get angry. It doesn't mean any of that, but I deal with that and I say, you know what? I'm just going to forgive them. I'm going to charge it to their head and not their heart, and I'm going to keep it moving. Not for them, but for me. Because see, I'm going somewhere. And so I don't need anything to hinder me from doing and becoming all that I'm, designed to do and to become in this earth. And you'd be surprised how things like that become these little hiccups in the road that stops us and hinders us. And as a child, if you get this information in you as a child, believe me, your life gonna be great, because most adults that I meet, they're still stuck with what somebody did to them 25 years ago. This is the honest to goodness truth. I had someone to call me to ask me about something I said to them 40 years ago. 40 years ago. I probably was a teenager or something, I could not believe it that they were still stuck there. I had no idea what they were talking about. But they were still walking in this unforgiveness, and they remembered it, and I couldn't even tell you. I mean, what could you do as a child? I really don't know. But what I'm saying is, this grown adult that was close to their 60s now, to have carried that all of those years for 40-something years, can you imagine what went on inside of their bodies as a result of that? So these wisdom nuggets are worth gold now, because if you impart this to your child while they're young, they're going to be some awesome children when they grow up. They're going to learn how to go in and out amongst people. They're not going to allow what so-called friends or people say to them or do to them hinder them from their purpose. And see, that's the key right there. You don't want nothing to hinder them from their purpose. And when you explain that to them and they really get a revelation of that, hey, they're going to be some awesome children. So thank you for asking. Wow, what an amazing show. But here's a wisdom break moment that I want to share with you. And it was about looking for love. I have met so many people looking for love. But here's the thing, they're broken. They're wounded. And love can't find you like that. Love can't find you. You're going to attract what's in you. One was wondering why they always attracting a certain type of man. And, I said, look at you. And I began to share with her where she was. And so when we're looking for love, we have to make sure first that we are healed and we're whole from old baggage. And then you don't want to be thirsty, as they say. I learned that very well. Then you don't want to be thirsty. You want to, be able to be what God purposed you to be so that love can find you. I had a conversation with a young lady, and she wants to be married, so bad. And I began to share with her, well, I said, the Bible said a man that findeth the wife findeth the good thing. I said, now the kick is this. You don't become a wife when he finds you. You become a wife before then. You present yourself as a wife. Because you can't present yourself as a girlfriend. You want to be a wife. A man is looking for his wife. So when you're looking for love, the thing and first and foremost that I want to share with you guys is to be loved. Make sure that you're healed and make sure that you're whole. Be loved, not lust. Be loved. And when you become love, love will attract itself to you. Thank you so much for joining me with this episode on parenting. I hope some kind of way you found tools that'll help you become a better parent and, just to implement how to raise your children to be these resilient, beautiful people that they are. And remember, share the love.
Send your questions to Dr. Addie at a.mccafferty@aol.com. You may also follow her on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can purchase Dr. Addie's book, Beyond Betrayal, Standing in the Midst of Adversity, by going to Amazon.com. Or you can visit her website at www.addiemccafferty.com.